My name is Christina. I'm 18 years old, and I saw my dad cheating with our neighbor. I'm an only child, and I have a very good relationship with my parents. Or so I thought. My dad is a hard-working man that always did everything he could for our family. That's why what happened was a complete shock. The story starts with him mentioning that he has to stay late for work one day. My mom and I didn't question anything, as it was not unusual for him to stay overtime at work. However, that's another thing that I started questioning after what happened. That night, my best friend Alyssa came to our house. We played games and watched movies. She's been my friend for many years, and was the only friend I ever liked hanging out with. After we got bored inside, Alyssa suggested we go for a walk. The street was empty and the lights were on, so the street looked amazing for a night walk. As we were walking on the street, Alyssa noticed my father's car in someone's driveway. "Isn't that your father's car?" "How can it be? My father's at work." We got closer and saw that it was, indeed, my father's car. My heart started beating faster and faster. "I was right. It's his car. Do you have relatives here?" "That's none of your business, Alyssa!" "Why are you so angry?" "My dad said he was working late tonight. I don't understand." "Do you know who lives here? Maybe it is something related to work." "I think there's a widow living here. I believe her husband died a few years ago. But we don't even know her that well. She's just a neighbor." "Oh my gosh, Christina! Your father is cheating! Are you out of your mind? I think you should leave, Alyssa." "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to upset you." "Well, you did. So go. No need for your opinion here." Alyssa left, and I stayed alone beside my father's car, not knowing what to do. But I decided to gather my courage, and I knocked on the door. My hands shaking. I was nervous as I waited for her to answer. Finally, a woman opened the door, with a smile on her face, and asked me if I needed anything. "My father is inside!" She was shocked, looking embarrassed. She closed the door and I froze. After a few minutes, my father came out with a look of shock on his face. He started begging me not to tell my mother. I was shaking, and I couldn't even speak. I couldn't believe this was happening, and that my father had done such a thing. When I was finally able to talk, I shouted at him, "How could you do this?" I ran home crying, confused and disappointed. I told my mother the whole thing as soon as I entered the house. I couldn't keep this a secret from her. She looked even more disappointed than I was. Soon after that, Dad came back home and started pleading for forgiveness as soon as he walked through the door. My mother didn't even want to listen to him. So he tried winning her forgiveness with a gift. He bought her a brand new car, begging again for forgiveness. I felt embarrassed for him and disgusted by him. My mother didn't forgive him. Instead, she filed for divorce, and I stood by her side the whole time. My father tried winning our forgiveness countless times, but it was not enough. What he did was disrespectful both to my mother and I, and neither of us was willing to forgive him. This is my story about finding out that my father was cheating with our neighbor. A story I would love to forget, but I don't think I'll ever be able to. Thanks for watching. Kindly subscribe to the channel.